Okay, question 7, we have here a sketch of a garden, and part A of the question is asking us for the size of angle ABC. So following those letters round, ABC is just this angle in here at B. So we're being asked to find the angle at B. So first thing I'm going to do is just label the sides of this triangle, so putting all my small case letters in. Now, to find the size of that angle, if we were going to use sine rule, we would need another angle filled in. We don't have enough information to use sine rule, so it's going to be cosine rule. So cos B equals a squared plus c squared minus b squared over 2ac. So filling in these values, we've got 8.2 squared plus 6.7 squared minus 12.2 squared over 2 times 8.2 times 6.7. So that gives us a value of minus 0.334 ... So this tells you that your angle is an obtuse angle. We've seen this now a few times where we get a negative value for cosine. So that tells us that the angle we're working with is an obtuse angle. You can tell that from the picture as well, but that negative value would be the way that you would tell this answer is obtuse. So to find B, we want to do the inverse cos operation of the positive of this last answer. So what you can do is type times -1 to your last answer, and that will turn it positive, but keep the big long decimal answer on your screen. So when we do that, we get an answer of, I'm going to round it to the nearest angle, so 70 degrees. That's your related angle. So that means angle ABC is 180 minus that answer, so 110 degrees. So for part B, we are being asked to find the area of the garden. So this is a parallelogram which is split in half into 2 triangles that will be the same size. So all we have to do is find the area of one triangle and then double it. So the angle I have is at B, so in the formula it will be a half AC sine B. Remember to rearrange the letters to fit your question. So a half times 8.2 times 6.7 times sine 110. And that will give us 25.8 metres squared. So the total area will just be double that answer. So 25.8 times 2, which is 51.6 metres squared. Okay, question 10. We have here various lengths and angles that have been placed onto this diagram, and we're being asked for the length of PS. So first thing I'm going to do is label the triangle with that side PS with my sides. So we have here our small p, small q and small s. So we're looking for the length of the side P to S. So looking at just that triangle, we need to see, do we have enough information to use sine rule? So if we were finding the side Q, which is PS, we would need another side in that triangle filled in. So we can't use sine rule. So we would then say, well, do we have what we need for cosine rule? No, we don't. We don't have 2 sides with the angle in between to do cosine rule. So as it stands, you don't have enough information to do either. So you will need to fill in something else first before you can do either sine or cosine rule. So the triangle on the right-hand side is a right-angled triangle. So we could use SOHCAHTOA with that triangle on the right to find that side P. So in that triangle there, we have our opposite side to the angle that's given. And we're looking for the adjacent side. It's just next to it. So if you were to think of SOHCAHTOA, we have got the opposite side, so we have the O, and we're trying to find that adjacent side, so we've got the A. So it will be whichever one has 2 pieces of information, so it's tan. So tan X is equal to opposite over adjacent. Remember, that's what SOHCAHTOA tells you. It tells you the formula to use. So tan 37 will be 5 over P. So we're solving for p. So we would need to get rid of this fraction first of all. So we would times everything by p. So p times tan 37 equals 5. And then we would need to divide by tan 37 for p. So 5 divided by tan 37. So that gives us as a value for p 6.6 centimetres. Now that we have that side filled in, we can go back and see, do we have what we need for sine rule or cosine rule? So check for sine rule first. So we have 6.6 and we have the angle straight across from that. And we're looking for q and we have the angle straight across from that. So we have the pairs that we need. So p over sine p and q over sine q. So p is 6.6. So 6.6 over sine 34 is equal to q over sine 68. We then have to cross multiply, so starting with the term that is unknown, so q times sine 34 is equal to 6.6 times sine 68. Then for q, we need to divide by sine 34, so 6.6 times sine 68 over sine 34. That gives us here 11 centimetres. So just to finish the question off using the right letters, PS equals 11 centimetres. Okay, the last question here is question 14, and we have a building company has to fence off a triangular piece of waste ground. The plan of the ground is shown below. All lengths are in metres. If the fence costs $18.50 per metre, how much would they have to pay for the total of this fencing? So when you think about what we've been told, it's $18.50 per metre, and we want to know what they have to pay in total to fence off that piece of ground. We're also told here at the end that the fencing is in whole metres only, so we'll have to round our answer at the end to whole metres before we do the cost. So let's label this triangle first of all. So let's go for A, B and C and the small sides here, A, B and C. So we are needing to find the length of the third side here so that we can get a total length all the way around for this fence. So we need to find this length over here. So A. So check if we've got what we need for sine rule. So if you're finding the length with sine rule, you would need two angles filled in. So we only have one, so you can't use sine rule. So it's going to be cosine rule. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. So that's going to be 30 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 times 30 times 16 times cos 56. So that gives us as an answer 619.174 ... So square root that value because that was for A squared. So for A we get an answer of 24.9 metres. So the total length of this fence will be 30 plus 16 plus 24.9. So that gives us 70.9 metres. Now the question said the fencing was priced in whole metres only, so we would need to buy 71 metres to have enough to do this entire fence. So your cost will be 71 metres times £18.50, which is a cost of £1,313.50.